and we are here with the gang. We're gonna see the talk. Okay.
So I am Awesomeness and you guys probably know my channel where I do a lot of Transformers discussions and retrospectives and everything. I've been on YouTube now for 9 years, and enjoy every minute of it. Enjoy all the interactions with fans and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah.
And I am Patriot Prime Reviews. I've been on YouTube for 7 years. Started my channel off on a dare. And was really amazed how it grew. And the fact that it's a fun extension of the hobby, because normally you buy a figure, you transform, it goes on the shelf, you do not touch it ever again. But now thanks to YouTube, I get to spend an extra 10 minutes video it, then put it on the shelf and never touch it again. But then doing the YouTube thing opened up a whole new world for me, meeting like these guys who've become some of my best friends, meeting you guys, which is the main reason I come to conventions anymore. This is my 5th one. The first couple of conventions was all about autographs and toys. Now it's coming hanging out with fans, hanging out in the lobby, talking to people, hearing their different stories. And it just amazes me how everybody from all these different walks of life now are bonded because of plastic robots. So,
Hey everybody, my name is Deluxe Baldwin. We've been doing this for about 8 years, and just like Patriot, I started my first con was PopCon 08. I went to a couple of those, and then I've been at every East Coast and Midwest one since 2014 when they started, with that. And yeah, it's just a great time. Like I said, you can get these Transformers anywhere online, but it's here for everybody. This is quite my best friend Kato right here, and it's just me a lot of new people. I get to see everybody here. I see faces all the time that I've seen over the years, and it's just a great time. Thanks for having me.
Hi folks, from Kato's Collection Reviews. Been doing YouTube for 5, 6 years. I stopped counting. Transformers, G.I. Joes. It's all the same stuff. We love coming to these conventions and hanging out. I'm always surprised if even one person comes up and says hi. So the fact that multiple people did it is almost makes me cry a little bit just thinking about it.
He had 2 this year. Come on, 2.
It's twice as many. Most of the time on here is Deluxe's cameraman. That's true. But yeah, meeting friends, meeting you guys, and hanging out, just talking toys, and like-minded folks doing like-minded stuff. I really do appreciate it. My beautiful wife, who the last time we were here at a panel, we had gotten engaged. We're obviously married.
Hi, Denise. Hi, Denise.
So you can give her condolences as we walk out.
She has a YouTube channel.
Really do love you guys, and I appreciate giving us the time.
Last but not least here.
Hi everybody, my name is Paul Matrix. I've been doing this for 18 years. I started 2 months after YouTube launched. Wow, you are old.
What's it, Billy? All of them.
Shut up, Billy. Thank you for inviting me on here, Ramos. This is my 5th TF right now, and yeah, it's a blast. It's just a blast. I get to see people that I normally never get to see. I get to see these love nuts. My friend Cam, who you might know as from Awesomeness, and Billy Jordan, and his attaché Lance. I get to see just all of you as well, and put names to faces, and actually say hi to people, which is nice, because I just live in my basement for both play and work.
And we get to ride the coattail of folks that have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, this is one of the guys that I watched religiously and helped make me do what I was doing on top of the day. I was like, well, they can do it. It's pretty easy. It's not. They can do it anybody.
There's a lot more doing it. A lot more just gone down there. Really good guy.
There's a lot more people that
There is a lot of you guys that have been making YouTube content, and we we appreciate all of you who continue, who would get inspired by us, and you guys keep going and keeping this fandom going, because it goes to show you that, you know, all of us have the capabilities to, you know, make these videos. I mean, granted, some of us make different kinds of content. You guys do a lot of toy reviews, I do the retrospectives and new stuff. And, you know, some of you guys are doing stop motion. I mean, I don't have the patience for stop motion, but it's awesome. Let me tell you guys, you guys that are doing it, those of you who are making just incredible content as well, and just everybody else who comes together as a fandom. Speaking of being fandoms, something I wanted to start this panel off with after our introductions was those of you who know, like, a lot of families were affected by the hurricanes that happened, you know, over the last month or two now, or 2 months now. And, you know, the folks in North Carolina, there's a toy store in North Carolina currently that's running a toy drive to help its victims. And for Christmas, what they're literally doing is collecting brand new in-the-box toys, and they're going to be helping a lot of these kids that are in North Carolina who will not have a Christmas because they lost everything. And so I felt it was a good time to not only promote, you know, Cato has teamed up with the folks there. What's the name of the toy store?
Yeah, so just in summation, I've lived in Western North Carolina that was hit pretty hard. And my wife and I were fine. We got really lucky. But not far around us was hit really, really hard. We were talking about that earlier. And so I teamed up. I went to a local store, a partner store that my wife works at, and teamed up with them to start a toy drive for the area. So we wanted to make it local and invite anyone to help out to donate toys or donate to the store that would give toys to kids. So it's been really successful, really grateful. But December 19th, we're going to get together with the families there, local churches, the county school district and stuff like that. We're going to have families come in for everything that's been donated and basically shop. So they're going to come in and we're hoping to refill their stockings, refill their Christmas trees, and give them something to look forward to. And I'm actually tearing up over it. And what was a mess, it was bad.
Myself was, you know, Hasbro had sent me this big box for Transformers 1, and it's all of the Transformers 1 toy line. And it's like, okay, this is nice to have as a gift box, okay, that Hasbro sent me. But I think these kids need more. And, you know, I can't imagine losing everything, you know what I mean? And so that's why I'm donating the contents of this box to those families, to that toy store. And I'm sending it with Cato to bring directly to that toy store so that they can get these toys to those kids. To not only to help, you know, for Christmas, but hey, let's get them involved in Transformers fandom. That's what we all do. We all come together and we all enjoy these plastic robots together, and we can have lots of new kids enjoy them too.
Yeah, so if you want more information on it, I'll just bug you about it. But there's a flyer here that has all the information you want to grab on the way out. If you want to hand it to somebody, let them know, or have it yourself, you're welcome to.
Yep, everybody should go to Cato.
So now that the emotional stuff is
donate.
done, let's have some fun talking about some plastic robots.
I want to go on what you just said about the younger generation now getting involved in Transformers, walking around the dealer room floor. It was so cool seeing these little kids. I mean, they're like 5 and 6 years old, and they're in the G1 section. They're looking at the classic figures. One funny moment I had, I was looking at some figures too, because there's a few G1s I don't have yet. And this boy was naming all the characters, and Dad's just like, how do you all just around that? And then the boy pointed at the little yellow mini car and says, Dad, is that Bumblebee? And he goes, yes, that's the original Bumblebee. And he just lit up, and he looked at the guy selling the toys, and he says, how much is that? And the guy said, $50. The kid's joy just dropped immediately. And I looked at him, and I was like, welcome to collecting G1. Yes, it's so cool seeing these little kids. You know, I'm 51 years old. I grew up with G1, and seeing these little kids that you watch, talking to the voice actors that we grew up with, the comic book artists that we grew up in, we know now that this franchise is going to extend for another 40 years.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I think that's great.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing too is like how, I mean, I saw so many younger fans as well. Like they were just really excited about stuff. In fact, I'm going to share this story is that like my daughter absolutely loves the character Lifeline, which is like a character who doesn't have any speaking roles. It's just a green RC repaint, right? And all she was doing was taking care of Cyclonus with a spoon. And my daughter just takes that figure from my office, constantly playing with it. And I saw this one dad here this weekend, and he had his daughter was dressed as in a costume of Lifeline with a spoon, feeding you know, her the Kingdom Cyclonus figure. And I was just like, I was just amazed at like how, you know, now we grew up with this franchise, and now the next generation is going to be taking it and running with it, with all the new Transformers stuff. And anybody here saw Transformers 1 knows that movie was good. It was awesome. It was like all of the color, the action, the storyline, and everything. And now the new generations of fans can just enjoy this franchise. And we're going to be along the ride, at least until we're sitting in our rocking chairs going, I remember the time back on Cybertron.
That's nothing free things. You want to talk to him? we could go all day.
I know, yeah.
Oh, that was actually you.
You gotta talk to somebody. So that is something that is really interesting, is seeing the rise of younger folks coming into the genre, coming in, but also folks that aren't your typical fans that have been. I've been in this fandom for a long time, and it's been predominantly male, and it's really, really nice to see more women and young girls getting into this and coming in and offering their perspective on things, on characters, on themes, on the actual, on everything. Because Transformers are about change, ultimately. I mean, that's what they're about, and that's something that is keeping the standard going, is bringing in not only the younger audience, but audiences that aren't the people that grew up in the 80s. New fans of all ages, all demographics, which is something that any fandom needs. And we're actually seeing some classic fandoms, like your Star Warses, having a lot of trouble figuring out where they're going, what they're even doing. But TF1 has proven that we can reinvent ourselves in a way that just covers a massive gamut and brings in so much new blood, so to speak, and new fans and people that love this stuff. And we've got the generations of, how many times in the last 20 years have we gotten new Transformers series? Lots. We've got G1 fans, we've got Unicron Trilogy fans, we've got Beast Wars, Beast Machines fans, we've got RLD fans, we've got Earthspark fans. We've got IDW fans. And IDW fans.
IDW.
What about the new comics? Any of the
That comic will lose a kid with Marvel.
Yeah. Starscream going.
Ooh, yeah.
How about movie fans?
What's that?
How about movie fans here?
Oh yes, movie fans.
That's a given. That's all movie fans.
All Transformer fans.
They're all Transformers, but that's it. The thing is to capitalize, I mean, to mark on your point is that, yeah, it's about fans of all demographics for wherever they came in for the fandom. I mean, you know, a friend of ours who's not here today, but you know, he's you know, back home. He grew up with Michael Bay's Transformers, and he just loves everything in the entire franchise. I mean, you know, Dreebot is just collecting so much stuff now. It's like ridiculous.
feel partially to blame.
It's our, that's our influence.
The crazy thing is, what Transformers 1 shows, I think, is that if you concentrate on putting out good content, the audience will follow. Yes. Because it was just good.
I mean, a story.
And we did a live last night, we was talking about, and just imagine if we would have had conventions back when we were growing up, because you can see like they were talking about the kids, you know, alongside, you know, doing all this stuff. Could you imagine if we would have had conventions back then like that for us? That would have been pretty sweet. But just to see, like I said, the younger generation to carry this on for us, and like I said, Baybirds, whatever you like it, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, you know, what we say, anything like that, as long as you like it, that's all that matters.
Yep. And another thing is, whether you like these cell phone thingies or not, it's really democratized filmmaking, because I've seen fan films of little Transformers, toys, that have better storylines than some of the original 86 shows. Right?
Just a quick shout out to that. You're talking about stop motion and stuff.
No, not just stop motion. I mean, it wasn't stop motion. The stuff I'm referring to was actually somebody moving the figures with their hands. You see their thumbs, and it's got better storylines than 80s cartoons.
There's a friend of ours that thinks
That's your opinion, sir.
there's a friend of ours named Walter Marcus.
Yeah.
That guy is in the UK, brilliant, funny guy. He does not really stop motion necessarily, but it's kind of like saying some of the best voices in writing, all G1 figures.
No articulation at all.
Yeah,
But
they're
it's
all
still
limited
like-
articulation, just great stuff. And I don't want to make it a whole panel shout outs, but go check out Ultra Marcus. Worth it. You'll have a good time. His own storyline is fun stuff.
So, well, with that said, I mean, we appreciate all of you who are continuing this for you guys. So I think at this point, you know, we've said our piece about keeping the fandom together. And what we like to do at this time now is open up the floor to questions.
If you've seen our live streams before, we like interaction.
We do, right? And before it derails any further, let's bring up some of the audience. If you guys have questions, you can line up.
Let's have some fun.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun. And you guys want to ask some questions, feel free.
Hello, yeah, I'm that one online. I got a picture with at least four y'all. What's y'all's favorite figures? Like all time, like, you know, across 40 years, like, what's your number one?
Starting off with the easy one. Number one
for yourself as well.
Everyone start with you, so that way I have to think about it.
Well, my favorite character is Starscream. So I'll
But which figure?
It's pretty
Which
tough,
figure
Chris.
starts?
Yes, how many people are in the room? It's pretty tough.
Yeah. That's a hard question, man. If I, you know, like, the quick question is, everybody, you know, if you had a, you know, I hope nothing happens, but if you had a fire, which one would you take out with you? I would probably do the New Age Starscream, the Legend scale. I think it's the transformation, the quality, everything, the thing. If you watch my stuff, you know I'm a big New Age fan. They're just the mini version of Fan's Choice, so I'd probably pick the Starscream on a Legend scale.
Sunstreak is my main figure. I love that, I love the character. So I've got two good G1 Sunstreakers. Those would run out with me in a fire.
Mine changes from year to year. Right now, my favorites are the 86 Commander Prime, and oddly enough, the Legends G1 Prime that just got released. That thing is amazing.
And I thought it was going to be a joke.
I thought it was too, but it is amazing. If you could get it, get a hold of it.
I guess my number one, and not going back to my childhood, would have to be MPO1 Optimus Prime. My wife and I got married 2 weeks prior to me deploying to Iraq. And Prime came out right after I went overseas, and she bought him for me so he'd be waiting when I got home. So that figure has just deep meaning for me. I think I've only transformed it once. It's just sitting in the back of my collection. That's the one I would grab when I got the door.
If it's again, like Walt said, it's kind of hard to pick like which figure would be your favorite. But like currently, right now, I really love and still do my customized up Kingdom Rodimus Prime. Because it's like finally a mainline Rodimus Prime figure that has all the articulation that you want, has and actually does justice to the character, because he never gets, every figure he's gotten has either been like, either articulation's been off, or like the vehicle's, you know, different, but it's a fun transformation, and I enjoy the toy quite a bit.
Next week.
All right, next up.
Hi, Jordan.
My question is for Deluxe. Deluxe, I understand you had homemade cheese recently. What would you say it tastes like with the hot honey on it? No, I'm just kidding. It's an inside joke. No, this actually is directed at Deluxe. Look, one of the things when we first met 6 years ago at TFCon 2017, I can't believe it was that long ago, one of your metrics where people knew you was you asked whether you thought the fandom was going to go meet with third-party collectors, the fandom in general in 5 years. And my question for all of you is, where do you see the fandom and collecting and conventions in the next 5 years? Because it sounds like, I think after seeing all this, we're pretty hopeful. So what do you guys think?
I'm hoping to see a continuation of this. I mean, here it is, 40 years later, you got Benz in 1984, you got G1, you got Armada, you got every line. I mean, I saw everything. Little GoBot here and there. G2 was in there, thank you very much. Been about G2 figures all day today for those of you.
Yes, that's my fault.
I think that's what's going to continue. I think that's what's awesome. 40 years later, there's still the originals, and you got tables with the brand new stuff that's at Walmart right now. So it's just, I just want to see all those years just keep adding. Every year, another line at the cons, and just, we're busy. I mean, this thing is packed, and that's what I'm hoping. I'll attend as many as I can.
I think this franchise has a lot of longevity. It's just going to keep going. It's not like a lot of other franchises are hurting, like really hurting badly because of, you know, the storytelling that's happening with them, and also because of I don't know, whatever marketing that they're doing is pretty poor. But it seems to be Transformers just has this like really loyal fan base that like we love, like the part of Transformers that we love. And it's going to keep going, and wherever anybody's entry point is, that's going to be so special to them, and they're going to come to these conventions and see how welcoming so many of us as a fandom, and all of you are, and how it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And I think it's going to go on for at least another 4 years. So yeah.
I'm hoping they do the trilogy for Transformers 1. They're supposed to do that, so I'm hoping by that time they're going to do the second one out and the third one, and people are waiting for the fifth one. So I'm hoping that we go off from that and everything. I think we can already see that we're getting a lot of non-Transformers. We got 3-0, we got Blockies, we got a lot of, Super 7, a lot of Yellow Park, just here. I think we're going to get a lot more attention to that. G1, they're going to start the ones that are more, RID, Armada, the Ron Trilogies. I think they're going to move towards that. You'll have to take that zero. They are, like if you don't like non-Transformer stuff, you may not like it, but they are beautiful pieces and they look great on the shelf. But I think a lot of that's going to go towards, we're already seeing that already, so I see that.
I think, to go to your question about what conventions are going to look like, I think that scary box on our wall that tries to tell us that the world is a terrible place and it can get pretty scary, places like this are going to get better because we get folks, you look at that and they try to tell us that we have nothing in common and we should stay away. But then here, look around. You got every kind of person in the world in this building for one thing that we all like. So don't pay attention to the box on the wall. Come to places like this, hang out. So it's just going to be more hungry, more stuff.
Paul and I were having that conversation yesterday.
We were actually having that conversation in the dealer room yesterday. So if you came up to us and we said we were having an adult conversation, boring adult conversation, that's what it was. But we have vastly different political ideologies, I think. Yep. But we're both adults, and we both want to be here with all of you. That poop doesn't matter. It does not matter.
He's talking about peace and tranquility. You get me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's good.
Just get closer, closer.
That stuff doesn't matter here. We don't care. the only argument you're going to have is who's better, a New Age figure or a Magic Square figure?
Fight.
That is new, I guess.
All right, let's keep going. Let's keep rolling. We can talk all day. Hi there.
Hi. First of all, I would like to thank whoever said that if anyone enjoyed Transformers 1 for what it is, then that's good enough for us, even though it wasn't the kind of box office success that I thought it would be when it first came out on my birthday.
Oh, I saw on the news or something today that it made the money back, that video on demand was a hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I know there's hope. There's hope.
I follow digital advertising.
Yes, yes, it did. Yeah. Now ready for Transformers 2, Rise of Megatron.
Well, probably wouldn't call it Transformers 2 if you don't want to confuse it with Revenge of the Fallen.
That's fine. They won't confuse me with that.
If there's one thing that I really want to say about Transformers 1's box office failure, is there one thing that, no offense, should put the blame on?
Marketing, plain and simple, marketing. So you have to realize the marketing company for Transformers 1
We have a time
was not
that
the
we can
typical
go.
marketing
Don't
company
worry,
that
there's a
Paramount used. They used a dime-store marketing team for it. So what they did was they didn't actually give this company enough money to actually market it. It was very minimal marketing in the US. Internationally, there was nothing. There was nothing. No books, no digital, no signage, nothing. Also, they released it. It was like the weirdest thing in the world. To get around unions in other countries, animation studio unions. And it's mind-numbingly stupid because they had it on their hands, yet they botched it at every turn. And I don't know why, because if they spent the same money with their in-house Paramount marketing team, it would have been fine. They would have gotten the simultaneous worldwide release. Instead, you had the US release first, then Australia, then China, then Japan, and then Europe and England got it a month later.
Literally almost right before digital streaming was releasing.
He's kind of passionate about this.
2 weeks before. 2 weeks!
Yeah, I see.
I'm sorry, I'm so pissed at that.
I think we can all collectively as a fandom say we're pretty agree.
I was one of the guys in the beginning that kind of wasn't excited about it. I saw the ads for their release and I was like, it doesn't look like it's for me.
It looked like
I'm
the
glad
Minions movie
it's
was
for somebody,
Transformers.
but it's not for me.
Yeah,
I actually waited till it was streaming and I'm like,
I always thought that it sorry. I always thought it flop because a lot of people are still traumatized by the critical failures of Age of Extinction and The Last Night.
Suck it up and move on.
Yeah. It really boils down to marketing. That's really what it is. Like what made that movie not do well in the movie theaters is it came out, number one, also coming out in September, but two, coming out like the trailer. Everybody has literally said, all of the non-Transformers fans that have talked about the movie in any capacity all said, yeah, that movie just like that first trailer, saw that first trailer, and it was just like, I don't want to see this movie. And I'm like, no, you need to see Transformers 1. It actually is really good. I saw it. You know, I'm not pulling that chain. I'm like, I really enjoy this movie. Yeah, people are.
We need to move. I'm sorry, Golden Brew, we got a lot of questions, so.
Oh yeah, we can change it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I actually do like Transformers 1 regardless.
We do too. So.
Hi, I'm a big IDW fan, as Fulcrum right here. But I was wondering, what's your favorite character from IDW and why? Or like more than DCI or any specific comic of that?
I'm going to go first because I'm something with broad spectrum, and I love that IDW brought back Thunderwing. One of my all-time favorite Transformer characters. He wasn't G1ified, but he was just this beast of a character that they had like the first few issues, and then he was just disappeared, and we haven't heard of Thunderwing in years. And need him back.
We need a new toy for him.
And a wing.
No, I just really liked her. She was really well written, smart.
This is a cool question.
Yeah, super great character. Needs a good toy, like a really solid good toy. Hey, third parties, you're here, aren't you? In spirit? Yes, an arc.
I didn't read it. Of course, I haven't read it yet, I'm sorry.
You didn't read IDW?
I've read the new stuff, but I'll
Get off the panel.
I don't even know what to say.
I'll get it on my list. It's on my list, I'll get to it, but I like the new comics, they're really good, so. Starscream is, you know, he got suplexed by Prime. Spoilers. I got a Prime a little bit, but I love the new stuff.
I think Megatron and IDW, they brought Megatron a lot more life and everything than he had no.
To answer that question, I probably would say, I mean, I like Last Man of the Wreckers, so I'd probably say Springer in that series. And so I really enjoyed his character in that series, yeah.
Thanks, thank you.
So one comment, Transformers 1 thing, it's almost like the marketing team wanted it to fail. They didn't put enough effort into making it with the budget they had as well. I don't know, that's my personal opinion on that. So this question is kind of for you, Paul, but all you guys can answer as well. Your older videos of the Armada trilogy in particular are a little bit critiqued more than some might say. So I'm curious to know, for any of you, have your opinions changed over the years about certain lines of toys or shows, whatever, from before when you first started YouTube, like your channels, whatever? Any particular opinion you might want to share, you might change overall, because as you point out, there's many different continuities and shows that come out that some say it's not good, but others say it is good. So what's your thoughts on that?
So it's really interesting because you take a look at figures that came out 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and back then, one, I was in a different place back then.
I figured.
Very different place. And then you just find a figure that you haven't touched in a decade. At first it's, how the hell do I transform this? I don't think, let me go look at my video. It happens more than you think. But a lot of times that was very much in the moment. And a lot of the reviews, a lot of my reviews, actually pretty much my entire channel was, what am I thinking of this figure in the moment? What is this right now? 5 years, 10 years? Jesus, okay, just keep dating myself, I'm sorry. Shut up, almost 20, yes, we get old, Walt Matrix. What you need is a force field. So you find some of these older figures, and your opinions do change. But then you find Arachnid from Transformers Animated, and you still go, oh, this sucks. So a lot of it is opinion at that time. And yes, your opinions can change. Opinions do change.
Except on G1 figures.
Not necessarily. Well, unless the figure is falling apart. But, like, for example, Oil Slave was an animated Oil Slave. Figure that I was kind of mid on back then. And then I recently found I was like, oh, this is great. What was I talking about? You know, it's a lot of where your head at is at the time of review. Okay.
You guys? Okay.
I mean, you can only review the figure in front of you, and there's plenty of things, kind of like growing up, I didn't like Pretenders at all, right? It was like killing Transformers for me as a kid. Now I love to go back and forth.
No, that was action.
Yeah, but so, I mean, your opinion changes. Your opinion changes, but your video is forever. So you go back and watch that old one that you hated.
You can't go crazy. Oh, I don't like that.
I hate my first videos. I suck so bad.
My first videos were shot in 240p.
That makes me still.
That was right after the cameras were invented.
For all of you younger folks, take 1080 and divide by 4.
So what you're saying is you're going to rename your channel as to Walt Cup.
Somebody asked me earlier, which I referred to as kind of sidetrack about YouTube and what you need to start a YouTube channel. Most of it, this is what we film with. A couple of desk lamps and personality. When I first filmed, I took, you know those big 7-Eleven cups you get with the drinks? I put weight in the bottom of one, took my belt clip, put that on the side of the cup, put my phone in, and that's how I filmed my first video. And it's now I got tripods, so.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
Just an FYI, when I started, the iPhone hadn't come out yet. Think about that. Wow. I had a BlackBerry.
He wrote letters on rocks.
Bolts, cups.
Get off my lawn.
Hi guys. First off, I want to thank you for ensuring women in the room because there's not been a lot of us in the past and there's been a lot of us in the future and I think right now, and I think that's awesome. So my question kind of links towards that. You guys are all guys. Do you guys know of any female streamers out there right now that are either growing or that you know of?
A lot of them are starting to make their presence known. And I think a lot of them, you know what, I wonder if it's just that some of them just haven't started making YouTube channels and just talking about what they love about Transformers or what their favorite Transformers character is.
So actually, to that point, yeah, a big problem that we or I am seeing living in the technology space is actually YouTube is the problem. Twitch has gotten a lot better about this with bringing up more female creators, 100%. YouTube's algorithms are built around dudes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if this is something new to people, but it is unfortunately the way the algorithm is built right now, and it sucks. And I found a couple of technology creators, Shannon Morse being one of them, if you're a big fan of tech YouTubers, and she just disappeared from all of my recommendations and even my subscriptions for like 6 months. And I was like, well, where is she? And I saw I was still subscribed to her. She was still creating content. I wasn't seeing it.
I don't think that's just her problem.
No, that is a
well, I'm saying that is a YouTube problem as a whole. It's not just her, but it seems to be all creators.
I'm subscribed to every one of these guys, and there's a lot of times I don't know they put a video out until they tell me in the chat.
Yeah.
So one of my suggestions for you, want to start a YouTube channel, you want to get your name out there, promote yourself. Make yourself a Facebook page, an Instagram page, whatever. Don't rely on YouTube to share your content. You get out there, you get to know people. You say, hey, I got this out now, or you invite other YouTubers. That's how we all met. We invite each other on our channels, and supporting each other is a big part of making this happen.
And don't be afraid to talk with other Transformers fans, because that is something that...
Because they're all cool.
Yeah, that is something that we when we come into these conventions, we talk to everybody.
And also,
don't be afraid to talk to anybody. You know what I mean?
Also, reach out to us. Reach out to other, YouTubers and say, hey, because we do show, I did call around 30 for our interview, anybody that you think does Transformers, you want them on, and Kato does it, Patriot Prime does it, everybody does it.
If you're brave enough, join us for a live stream.
Yeah.
That's an experience.
If you need help, we are always there to help anybody that wants to harm us.
Sounds to me like you need creative.
Best answer ever. You win.
Hello. My question for you is, what piece of media or like a toy brought you into this community? Transformers.
Well, no. My first experience with the Transformers was I was with my dad at the drugstore. He was picking up a prescription. He told me to go get a comic book. So I grabbed issue number 3 in Marvel Comics because it had Spider-Man on the cover. Gathering up this really pissed off robot. And I got to read that, and it just opened a whole new world for me. Next thing I know, I'm getting the figures, and that was at Marvel G1. I'll always hold a special place in my heart. Issue number 3. It's framed in multiple places in my house and in my office at work.
I would say Countdown to Extinction was the first episode I actually saw airing on TV at the time that I can recall. And it was it's a weird episode because it's like part 4 of The Ultimate Doom and with Dr. Arbogast, and that's how I remember getting into this franchise and just wanting more and more and more of it, and all these plastic robots things.
So back to your question about how I got into the community. I actually,
Community, that's the question.
I came in from,
I thought it was about Transformers, yeah.
so obviously I was around watching the shows when I was a wee lad. But the community aspect was one of the first Transformers podcasts called TF Wire started back in, thank you, I see that hand. That started back in 04, 05, and they were looking for a host, and I thought, well, I'm bored. I was on the AllSpark at that point and just saw a random thing on their forums, and I sent them an email and did a casting call and all that stuff. And then that started as co-host. Then I started my YouTube channel because we saw probably the world's worst Transformers video review ever, and then it just snowballed from there.
To actually answer your question, Beast Wars was what brought me back because, and it's where Rodimus Primal came from, was because I was, at the time, Transformers, I was already a G1 guy, so like, I saw the first episodes of Beast Wars and I was like, I don't really like it, the computer animation, it didn't look right to me, I didn't like the fact they were animals. Something just clicked with me when I watched one of the episodes, and then I saw the last 5 episodes of season 2. Yeah! And where they enter the Ark, and there's all the G1 guys on the Ark, and it's like, Beast Wars is connected. This is awesome! I needed it all, I needed it by every way. Then I started getting onto the forums. The internet was like kind of like new for being, public use for everybody. You started getting on like all .toys.transformers and looking at all the people post stuff and posting about other stuff. And then that's where I started posting as Rodimus Primal on different message boards, and that's where I got involved in the community. So, but let's speed it up because we do have a lot of people who want to like 10 S's questions. Real quick.
Check in.
So let's drop the questions.
I've been watching and collecting Transformers as a 10-year-old Kato first got Sunstreaker, but what got me into YouTube was I actually lost my job due to a hurricane when I lived down in Myrtle Beach. And, didn't have anything else to do, so I did what any wise person would do and spent all my money on Transformers and started YouTube. So that's what I did.
And I played this kid, or I guess I played with this kid. Adult R.I.D. got me back into it. I saw them at Walmart. I'm into Transformers, and Armada really got me kickstarted back into that as an adult. And YouTube just happened on accident. Thank you.
Like it should.
Hi, so I'm hosting a panel at a convention next year where I'm basically pitching Transformers to people who don't know anything about it.
Awesome.
And I'm using this slice of life element, like like friendships and relationships, like characters and stuff. I was hoping you had like some dynamics all across media and like books and stuff. I was hoping you had examples of like good characterization or good dynamics that you would recommend to people to show like that there's some good content to it. So I was hoping you could have like some recommendations of stuff like that you would just give like an example of like something that stuck with you. Like just like just like 2 characters that really were good written and you would recommend people to watch.
TF1. That's what I was thinking. That's a good start. You don't even have to know anything about this series. My wife went with me and she knows a little bit about Transformers. She absolutely loved that movie. So that's a good point to introduce anybody to, because then she's going to ask questions. So my wife was sending me all kinds of Megatron questions. Well, was he an Optimus Prime best friend? And I just spent like all night. I was proud. Teaching my wife about Transformers. So TF1, I think it's going to cover every base you need, and it's going to get people interested in the franchise.
Yeah, TF1 will be on the great G1 stuff.
Yep.
Place.
And it'll be out on DVD or Blu-ray.
TF1 and Skybound.
You're welcome. Hey!
Everybody knows this guy.
Hello, my name is Don. I'm new to the family. Being 54, I am one of the older people in the family. I got 3 years.
You got 3 years on it.
So I was there before all this began, and I was on all toy Transformers and all that, Ryan Kilby and all of that. The thing I've always tried to do is online, I'm not going to use personality, but as a presence, that I think one of the big things that affects our fandom the most is something new comes out. Everybody jumps on it. It's not right. It's not wrong. I hate it. And they look at a still or a snapshot or something, but that's a new Superman movie. People are already hating this new Superman movie from stills and snapshots. How can those of us that don't have the platform y'all do, I don't be a gatekeeper, but I want to be a voice of reason for like, watch it first, read it first, experience it first, then make a call. It's like I'm shouting with the wind sometimes, and I just can't get people to understand that.
Hard to answer that question really quickly is I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've seen bad storytelling before, and a lot of times a lot of people get that way because when they enjoy like one part of the franchise and then something comes out afterward and it's not as good as what came before, they're like very, they're very protective of it. But to quickly answer that question, I think it's just simply as this, is like, yes, do give it a shot, be critical, but be fair. And that's just basically the best way to be about it, is to be fair about it. If you have a criticism, it isn't necessarily a condemnation. So
I think most people also use, that's what their material is, that's what their content is, their passion. That's what they do a lot. A lot of people get views for that and everything. So sometimes that's just their personality, that's their content.
YouTube love rage.
Yeah, YouTube love rage. If you start, making fun of, a figure or something like that, it usually gives more than you praise it.
I just want to do what I can out there in the wild to keep us from being as bad as some of those other groups.
There's almost nothing you can do. People are going to dislike what they dislike. All you can do is like it. And I'd love to say it's as easy as saying give it a chance. Sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes you can convince somebody to do it. And the big thing is to be able to shrug it off, walk on, and go enjoy what you like.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'm a huge Studio Series fan. Which one is your favorite?
Which one is our favorite what?
From Studio Series.
Not Bumblebee.
86 Prime.
That's what I want.
Yeah, 86 Prime is the one. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Prime. 86 Prime.
I mean, all those studio series are usually pretty good.
Studio Series hot rod.
My watch, I forgot to roll back on my That's why.
Rapid fire.
Just questions for Speed and Bill Matrix. 14 years ago was when I started watching your videos, right around the release of your 250th review. I recently acquired the subject of that 250th review and was hoping that I could get it signed by you.
Sure, come see me after. Come see me after the panel. I'll be right outside. Perfect.
What is the mascot for your YouTube channels? Like the Transformers?
Rodimus Prime. What is our mascot? Drawn by Matt Moylan.
Patriot Prime.
My cats.
My name is a really ridiculous cartoon version of myself.
Just my name over Matrix and everything. So, and I love Transformers.
You freaking love Transformers. You freaking love Transformers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey guys, I'm Blue SAL. I might be heavy in your guys' comments all the time. I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask, if you guys had to start your channel today, from the lessons that you've learned from starting your channel, what would you do differently, or what would you advise a new creator?
Don't start one. It's not working.
The main thing I've learned without getting a lot of stuff here is if you want to start a YouTube channel, you got the interest in doing it, just do it. You're going to learn by experience. Every video that you make, you're going to grow. And that's how we all started. We just sat down and said, I'm filming. And that's how we started.
The other thing on that is just be consistent. Do one video a week, one video a week, at the same time every week. Show that algorithm permit to the exact same thing you are doing, because that's what the machine wants.
Make a video that you want to watch.
Yes, that.
Yes. And Deluxe, leave the baby alone.
I do floor time.
We have 1 minute left. Bring it on.
All right, so I am Bobby from Bot vs. Con, and I don't know anything about Transformers. I would say, how do you determine what your style or what your platform is going to be based on? You know, is it, I want to talk about Legends. If somebody's new, trying to get into it, I want to talk about Masterpiece, I want to talk about Legends, I want to talk about Toy Hacks, I want to talk about Transforming. How do you pick what you're going to talk about?
For me, I started with G1. I'm an old G1er, and I felt that nobody was reviewing G1s at the time. Power of the Primes was the line coming out. And I was strictly G1 until somebody asked me to start reviewing new stuff, and I said, well, I'm not going to review new stuff because everybody else is. And the comment was, with your numbers. And I was like, okay. And so I started reviewing everything. But I noticed I did get kind of stuck in the rut where I'm known only for Transformers and Toy Hacks. I tried to venture out and film other stuff. Nobody watched it. So once you get stuck where you are, just roll with it. And you're good.
That's the YouTube algorithm. That is specifically the YouTube algorithm. If you have one idea, have a channel with that one idea. If you have another idea, start another channel. If you have a third idea, start a third channel. That's just the way the stupid machine wants you. It wants to pigeonhole your content. But if you've got multiple ideas, just keep making new channels. Well, God, use 2FA, two-factor authentication, please.
Just have fun with it. Like I said, I do that too. You know,
don't forget that.
I do floor time where I get on the floor. I just want to bring people back to their childhood, you know, when they're playing on the floor and everything. So I added that to my, you know, started doing that and everything. So, and you're old and, you know, like that, it's really hard to get back up. And just have fun with it. Make it your own. Do something that other people are not doing and everything. Just everybody can do, you know, that. Just be yourself.
I'm going to say one more thing, just to end it here, to answer that question, is be passionate. Whatever you're passionate about, that is going to show in your video. What you are passionate about. If you're passionate about Transformers, talk about Transformers. If you're passionate about Power Rangers, talk about Power Rangers. If you're passionate about whatever, and obviously it will show, and that's where the algorithm will push, because they see that passion coming out of you. And
viewers will know.
They will know.
They're not in what they're reviewing at the time. They'll call you out. So be, like you said earlier, you be in that proper mindset to review. Because at night, I've got free time. When something happens at work and I'm ticked off, I'm not sitting down and do a review because it's on the show. Yeah. So, I think that's what we're at. Yeah. Right.
Big TFL, thank you guys. We're going to back in a few minutes with the Transformers fan design panel. That's going to be starting in just under 5 minutes.